It's time. Well, it's time. It's finally time. We are doing the mother of all disappearing stations. The Big Cheese, the Big Yin, the Cali. Yes, it's finally time. There's absolutely no type of catfish where I cut to another obscure station, although we will be referencing a previous video, Lothian Road Station to be exact. Behind me was the site of Edinburgh Princess Street Station. Princess Street Station story is a very interesting one. It was Edinburgh's second big terminus, but why did Edinburgh have two terminuses? Well, it's very simple. There were two big railway companies. So you may have noticed that I bring up the company that the stations were opened by, and this is for good reason. At the dawn of the railways, many different railway companies started up and opened various lines for various reasons. I've already mentioned some of the earliest ones like the Edinburgh Leith and Newhaven, the Edinburgh and Dalkeith and the Edinburgh and Glasgow, but eventually these lines got taken over and amalgamated into two main railways, the Caledonian and the North British. Then in 1923, the 5 different railway companies in Scotland were amalgamated yet again into two railways, the LMS and the LNER. Princess Street was LMS and Waverley was LNER, and then in 1948 they all got nationalised and BR was formed. So yeah, there's a history of the railway companies in Edinburgh and why Edinburgh, and indeed a lot of cities, had 2 or more termini. So Princess Street Station started as Lothian Road Station just down the road, and I've made a separate video about this station. It was opened by the Caledonian on the 15th of January 1848. It was a 3-track, 2-platform affair in what is now Festival Square. Now, you might be thinking why it wasn't anything grander. Well, there were plans to actually expand it, but finances and fortune apparently did not favour Lothian Road Station. It was known as the Wooden Shanty because, well, it was made out of wood and it was rather small. By 1866, Lothian Road was looking quite tired and the Caledonian Railway and City Fathers were kind of embarrassed of it. It was small and frankly needed upgrading. And this is where Princess Street Station comes into view. By 1876, Princess Street was opened and was a much larger station, more in line with a major terminus. It was a 3-platform station with a proper booking office, station building and facilities. Lothian Road became a good station. Alas, fortune did not favour this new Princess Street Station because it caught fire in 1890. The fire was a major event, destroying a good chunk of the building. The fire started in a lamp room and trains were still leaving the station around the time it actually started, the last train to leave being the 13:45 to Glasgow. There were even fears that there could be an explosion as carriages caught fire and gas lighting on the trains would have caused explosions. Luckily, however, this never happened. This allowed for a remodelling of the station, and by 1894 the station had 8 platforms, an expanded signal box and a turntable to the west of the station. In 1899 work began on the station hotel, a hotel that you likely now know as the Caledonian. And yes, the name is in reference to the railway company. This hotel encompassed the north side of the station, and after the station closed, it took over the site. Now in 1935 in the LMS area, you had a list of places you can go. In Edinburgh, you could go to many stations that we have covered before, like Granton, Northleaf, Murrayfield or the Blenheim Loop Line, but you could also go to places like Callander, Moffat, Peebles, as well as existing stations like Stirling and Perth. One very interesting place includes Lead Hills and Wanlock Head, which is today a narrow gauge heritage railway. The station was considered surplus to requirements by BR days, and it seemed more logical to concentrate services in Waverley, so in 1965 it closed for good. Today, there are still features remaining of the station today, like the concourse, which is now a lounge and hotel, and this gate, which used to lead to the taxi rank. This is by far the biggest station I've done, and I'm curious as to whether or not it was a good idea to close, considering that rail travel has expanded and we could have used this station to access lines north of Edinburgh. Sadly, that's all history, and all we can really do now is speculate as to what could have been. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching these videos for the last couple of years. There'll be more history videos in the future, but I've decided to take a month's break and the channel will return on the first Wednesday of December. Again, thank you so much and I will hopefully see you all in December.